Hello, friends, and welcome into NFL Daily. I am your host, Tom Downey, and today we're taking a look at the Redskins head coach search and some top candidates. Of course, Black Monday coming up. Redskins already fired their head coach back in October. Time for an updated look at our top candidates. I've got 12 and a bonus one for you guys. We're getting this out before Black Monday. Redskins want to move quickly, maybe even as soon as Monday. And some good news here as well for the Redskins, at least in some capacity. Bruce Allen, the much maligned front office member, and for good reason, his role is about to be reduced per the reports coming out of Washington, will not be involved in football operations anymore. And if you like that, I know what hashtag you guys like to use. Hashtag fire Bruce Allen. Can I see that going in the comments section? I think it's the obviously correct decision for the Redskins. You can let Bruce Allen work on like some of the money stuff if you want. He's got no business being involved and in charge, especially of player personnel. Hopefully his time is almost over in Washington. Get a more competent regime in place. Now, one note here before we get into our top 12 candidates. I believe the reports that Dan Snyder really wants Mike Tomlin. I also don't think he's going to have a chance to go get him. I don't think the Steelers want Mike Tomlin to leave. And if you're Mike Tomlin, do you want the Redskins job? If Bruce Allen is removed from power, or at least has his power reduced, it does make the job a little bit more intriguing. But the Redskins under Dan Snyder have perhaps the worst culture in all of football. It is not good, so it's worth mentioning, but don't think it's really happening. All right, next up is David Shaw, who was linked to the Redskins job by CBS Sports. He's had NFL interest in the past and has passed on it every single year. Maybe this is the year he makes a change because, well, Stanford missed a bowl game for the first time ever under David Shaw. I have to go back to like the second year of Jim Harbaugh's tenure. Last time that happened. Worth mentioning, but again, long shot. Also a long shot, number 11, Mike McCarthy. I think it'd be a good hire for the Redskins. I don't think he really wants this job. I think the Panthers job in particular, or the Browns job, might make a little bit more sense for McCarthy, who is saying all the right things and is in the midst of his own little media push to get himself into a position where he could become the next head coach of some organization. I don't know if the Redskins, though, is that fit. Now, today's show is brought to you by BetDSI. Head over to chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code NFL120. Gets you a 120% deposit bonus. You put down $50, boom, extra $60 coming your way for free. Bet on the NFL playoffs. You can't make some money this year. It's chatsports.com/bet. Promo code NFL120. Number 10, Greg Romab, kind of falls into the Mike McCarthy category for me. I like him. He's done a great job this year with the Baltimore Ravens. I don't know if this is the right fit, maybe even for either side. I wonder if the Redskins really want somebody with previous head coaching experience. And for Romab, you're probably going to have lots of interest. You don't have to leave the Ravens, by the way. Lamar Jackson's not going anywhere. Maybe you wait and pass on the Redskins job if it does become offered to you. Number 9, Josh McDaniels. This is maybe a swing for the fence type of hire, and also a major gamble, too. Look, he did not do good at all in Denver. It was bad, and he had way too much power, especially in terms of the front office and the player personnel role. He's also the de facto coach in waiting behind Bill Belichick in New England, and didn't just burn bridges, nuke some bridges when he bailed on the Colts head coaching job after accepting it. But what if the Redskins say, hey, Josh, we're going to bring you in as head coach. We're going to let you pick your GM and work closely with them. Maybe it's Louis Riddick, who, of course, was in the Redskins front office for an extended period of time. That might actually make some sense if it's what McDaniels wants and or if it's the route the Redskins want to go. And we've gone over McDaniels and we've gone over McCarthy. So which former NFL head coach most deserves a second chance? I think McDaniels should be at the top of that list, although maybe it would be his third chance because he took the Colts job and then bailed on it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section, because at number 8 is the defensive coordinator that McDaniels hired to be in Indianapolis. When McDaniels left, Matt Eberflus said, no, I'm going to stick around and stay here. And I've been very impressed with the job he's done. That Colts defense didn't have the most talent. I think they've overachieved a little bit, which, of course, gives credit to Frank Reich as well. He'll be a head coach, I think, sooner than later. It's also the reality that teams don't love defensive minds these days. But for the Redskins, as we'll get into in a minute, defensive minds might make a little bit more sense if they have a young offensive-minded coach, they want to have at offensive coordinator. Stay tuned to that coming up. Number 7, Kris Richard. Remember, he interviewed for several jobs last year. I think he was the runner-up for the Bucs job. Had they not gotten Bruce Arians, I wonder if Richard would have been their fallback option there. But his stock has taken a hit this year. Earlier this year, when we went through our first list here, Richard was higher. But the Cowboys defense has struggled, and I think Richard's very fiery personality, which helps some players, I think has rubbed some players and coaches the wrong way in Dallas. I will make note, though, the Redskins do love their former Cowboys, mostly on the player side, but maybe they dip into the coaching pool this time around. All right, I mentioned that young offensive mind. That's Kevin O'Connell. I don't think he gets the head coaching job, but I think he stays as the Redskins OC. Now remember, for the Redskins, they let Sean McVay and they let Kyle Shanahan leave for better and greener pastures, and I think there's some regret there. He's been with the Redskins since 2017, taken over as the OC this year, and the last couple of games, O'Connell and Haskins and that Redskins offense, I think it started to click. I don't think internal hire is the right move. I think you bring in somebody else, maybe a defensive-minded guy or a better overall CEO type, and you continue to let O'Connell run your defense or your offense going forward. As I mentioned earlier, today's show is brought to you by BetDSI. Head over to chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code NFL120. It gets you that sweet 120% deposit bonus, even if you bet on, say, the Cowboys to beat the Eagles. I don't know what that experience would be like there. You still got plenty of leftover money. It's chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code NFL120. Playoff football's here. I love betting on those games. They're so much fun. Number 5 on our list, Todd Bowles, the former Jets head coach, now the Bucs defensive coordinator. The tenure for New York for Bowles did not go according to plan, but the Bucs defense has been much better under him. And remember, the Redskins have liked him. They've showed interest. Helps that he's played for them. I think that's always a factor. And they wanted him to be their defensive coordinator last year. They missed out on that, and he, of course, rejoined with Bruce Arians. The issue for Todd Bowles is the first year was so good. 10-6, and then 5 wins, 4 wins. If you want a defensive guy to kind of pair with Kevin O'Connell, I think Bowles makes some sense. He could also be maybe a fallback option if the Redskins miss out on some of their other top targets. But if they move quickly, why not going to be Todd Bowles? It might be someone who's available, like Urban Meyer. Much was made that Urban Meyer hanging out in the owner's box with Dan Snyder earlier this year. It's hard not to make a big deal out of that. I wonder more and more if maybe Meyer is just almost helping out the Redskins and the Browns like he did with Colorado State, advising those organizations and those franchises. But he's expressed interest, specifically the Cowboys job. Meanwhile, he's told us he doesn't miss coaching as much. So I think you call, you gauge his interest. Maybe that's what the owner box visit was. Maybe Meyer said no, although a lot of Buckeyes in Washington already. Got Dwayne Haskins, got Terry McLaurin, could probably get Chase Young too. Kind of intriguing. And everywhere Urban Meyer's gone, he's been a winner. I do think you have to worry about the medical because either A, he's left 2 of the best jobs in college football and football in general because of medical issues. That's a huge red flag. Or he made them up and he got quit when the going got tough. That's a pretty big red flag as well. So will Urban be an NFL head coach next season type? Y for yes, N for no. The more and more I think about this, the more and more I lean more towards maybe he doesn't end up being. I think Urban likes seeing his name in the headlines. But if you're the Redskins, there's no harm in calling, right? Number 3, Marvin Lewis, who reportedly is a strong contender and may have already interviewed for the gig. Has some Redskins ties, was the DC in 2002, then took the Bengals head coaching job. I guess it could be worse. Marvin, I think, would install a better culture and kind of went south at the end for Cincinnati. There are enough similarities there with Jay Gruden, although I do appreciate the irony of firing Jay Gruden to hire his former head coach, Marvin Lewis, because, of course, Gruden was the OC for the Bengals. I don't think this is a great idea. The indication is that they maybe want to keep Kevin O'Connell. The Redskins can do better than Marvin Lewis. I know the Redskins is not the most coveted job. They can. Number 2, Eric Bieniemy, the Chiefs' offensive coordinator, maybe the top offensive mind if that's the route the Redskins want to end up going here. Does not call the plays, but the Andy Reid coaching tree, pretty damn good. 10 of them have gone on to be head coaches, by the way, and there's several very quality ones, especially in recent history here. Interviewed for 4 head coaching jobs last year. I think this is the year somebody hires Eric Bieniemy to be their head coach. So, a little refresher here on the Andy Reid coaching tree. And don't forget about John Harbaugh. He counts there. Doug Peterson has done a great job. You can almost technically connect Frank Reich there, but doesn't really count. It's the subsect of the tree. Matt Nagy, Sean McDermott, and then not so great there on Pat Shurmur, but Peterson won a Super Bowl. McDermott has the Bills in the playoffs. Ravens have been so good. The Bears had a down year, but Matt Nagy at least has promise, I believe. But at number 1, and if the Redskins really do plan on making an announcement in 24, 48 hours, wouldn't that be Ron Rivera? Like, he is available. I think he would fit what the Redskins need, a little bit more of a sterner presence, a better walk-around type of head coach. Now, Rivera, no doubt's an upgrade. I don't think Rivera's the best head coach in the NFL, but he's got experience. He's made it to a Super Bowl. He's won playoff games. How many coaches out there can actually say that are truly available? Not very many. And if the Redskins want to move quickly, I think Ron Rivera makes a lot of sense. The issue is for Ron Rivera, the consistency wasn't always there. He had that great 2015, clunker in 2016, bounce back 2017, clunker in 2018, 2019, in part because of quarterback injuries. It was definitely time for Ron Rivera to move on from Carolina and vice versa, but if the Redskins can land him, that's a really good hire. I would be very pleased if I were a Redskins fan getting Ron Rivera if that's what ends up happening. Those were my top guys, but I want to know from you. Who do you think will be the next Redskins head coach? Let me know in the comment section. Heck, maybe it was someone I didn't even mention. There are a lot of different options out there, so let me know what you guys think.